Let's try that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, that was much better. It is so wonderful to be here this morning to celebrate with the Coyle and Landis families as Louise celebrates becoming a bat mitzvah. But this is her leading a service for the community. So while I know that many of you are here as guests, as friends and family, the most important part is actually that you participate in this service. Cantor Berman and I, Rabbi Gorban, are here to support Louise as she leads the service, and you're here to support her as well. So you should find in front of you a thin blue book that says Mishkan Tefillah on it. And this is probably the most complicated part of the entire service, is figuring out what page numbers to use. So the book opens from right to left, and we're going to be using the blue numbers in brackets. So there are two sets of numbers in the book. We are going to be using the blue numbers in brackets. If you turn to page 188, you'll find words from Psalm 133. Hine matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how pleasant it is when all of us come together. So are you all on page 188 using those blue numbers in brackets at the top of the page? Luckily, even if you don't read Hebrew, all of the Hebrew words are written in English letters. And I invite you to join with us.
Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Let your voice be heard. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad.
Now that we've created our sacred community, we acknowledge the sacred space that we're in with the words of Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, on page 192.
Oh Israel.
We join together in a prayer for our bodies on page 194, thanking God for the fact that our bodies work well enough for us to be here this morning. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofecho basar umafli la'asot. Our bodies are empty vessels without our souls, and so we thank God for our souls on page 196. We'll be singing the first two lines.
Elohai neshama shenatata mi tehorai. 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 Elohai neshama shenatata mi tehorai.
We join together in English. My
God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol basar ish.
On pages 198, 190, and 200, we have 198, 200, and 202. That's how the numbers work. We have a series of blessings that acknowledge the miracles of waking up and getting up and being able to screech with joy or irritation. That we sometimes ignore, or because maybe something isn't exactly the way we want it, we don't even think of the blessings that we actually have. And so this series of blessings reminds us of that and reminds us to be grateful for all of the gifts that we have. Cantor Berman is going to lead us in singing them in Hebrew. You are welcome to join in, or you're welcome to respond with the word amen, which means I agree, and in Jewish tradition you get credit for saying the blessing yourself, even if you just say amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan nasach vivina levchin ben yom uben laila.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka haaretz al hamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layaif koach.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir shenemen ayatrumo me'afapai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani bar-chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozei Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, otei Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen. Turn back one page to 201. Louise, you're going to have to share with Philip for a second, I think. There's this wonderful meditation intention for us as we begin our day, and I'd like for us to join in together in reading it. As I awaken, let this be my thought. May my day be filled with acts of loving kindness. Let me be drawn to learning and discernment, and may my actions be shaped by mitzvot. Keep me from iniquity, disgrace, and sin. May I not be overwhelmed by temptation or despair. Distance me from evil people and false friends. Let me cultivate a life of goodness. May my hands reach out in kindness, and I will serve God through acts of righteousness. Today and every day may I merit your mercy by living my life with compassion and love.
Holy One of blessing, draw me to your words. Teach me the art of sacred living. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed chasadim tovim la'amo Yisrael.
We continue on page 204 with a blessing for the study of Torah. We join together in Hebrew and in English. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. O Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. How many commandments are there? Louise knows her stuff. In Jewish tradition, there are actually 613 commandments. How many were you all going to say? No one was going to say 10? Okay, most people would say 10. Why? Because those are the big ones that we think about, actually the ones that are represented artistically on these large bronze doors. Jewish tradition has an alternative, in addition to the 10 commandments, has an alternative set of 10 mitzvot, ideas of things that we should be doing, and not just things that we should be doing, but things that we should be doing over and over and over again, and that even by doing them, we're never going to fulfill our obligation to do them. So we need to keep doing them. Right, and the negative commandments, the don't do this commandments, are pretty easy to, not do over and over and over again because we just don't do that. But it's much harder to have something that you have to do again and again and again and never really fulfill the obligation to do them. So, because I'm mostly talking nonsense right now, unless we read what these commandments are, I'd like to invite you to join me on 206 in the middle of the page. These are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come.
They are
honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. The study of Torah encompasses them all. By the way, the study of Torah, even though it has the but there, it actually is one of the 10. So you'll count 9 before you get to the Torah piece. These are the 10 that the rabbis from about 2,000 years ago came up with. If you were coming up with your list of 10 things that everybody should do again and again and again, I'm not going to make you come up with the whole list of 10, but what is one thing that you would put on that list? So I'm going to invite you to turn to your neighbor and think of one thing that you would put on that list of the 10 most important things for people to do. I've been hearing some really interesting things to put on the list. So would anyone like to share with the larger group? Pray. Do you want to add more to that or just? Okay, so Eric is saying that prayer is healing in a lot of ways and that it doesn't matter exactly why we're praying or what's bringing us to that, but that it's important to pray. Did I get that? Okay. Jackie. Okay. Treat everyone fairly. Charlotte. Donate to people in need. Don't be judgmental. Can you put that in a positive way? Because remember, these are all things that we're doing as opposed to not doing. I know, that's really hard. Okay, accept people. I've heard like 3 different acceptance. Okay. I heard a really great answer back here. Can I make you share it with the group? Be respectful even when you're frustrated. Louise, I heard that between you and Philip, you got up to like 15. Okay, be humble. Because people think they're all this, all that in a bag of chips? Except... These are all great suggestions. And, maybe together we can create a new contemporary list for the realities of our world today. Although I will say that these things that we read on page 206, even though they were written 2,000 years ago, still have a lot of relevance to us today. Thank you for joining me in this moment of study. We had just said the blessing for the study of Torah, so that's why we did a little bit of study together. And that actually concludes the first part of our service, which is prayers to warm up our bodies and our brains. Now we turn to songs and verses of praise, which can be found on page 212.
Baruch Shemar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu, Baruch oseh v'reishit, Baruch omer v'oseh, Baruch gozer m'kayim, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch merachem ha'briot, Baruch meshalem sechar tov l'reiav, Baruch Elad v'kayam lanetzach, Baruch podeu matzil, Baruch Shemo.
On the facing page, we join together in Hebrew and in English. Hareini mizamenet et pi lehodot ulhalel ulshabech et buri. With this do I prepare myself to thank, praise, and glorify my Creator. Blessed are you, sovereign of life, whom we praise with songs of glory. Baruch atah Adonai, melech me'olal v'tishbachot. Psalm 92 is the psalm for the Sabbath day, for Shabbat. And so we'll join together on 214 in the English, reading together up until the indent, and then we will continue singing at the indented paragraph in the Hebrew. We join together. A song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai! How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this.
Please join at the indent in the Hebrew. Tzadika tamar yifrach, keres balvanon yizke, shetulim bevet Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Or yenuvun beseva, Tesheni verananim iyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo
Page 218 is Psalm 150, the last of the Psalms in the book of Psalms. And I want to make sure that you're able to join us in the chorus. So I'm going to give you a few words. Repeat after me, please. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Think you can handle that? Whoa, that's special.
Here we go. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Again. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, El Bekocho, hallelujah, Berki Ahuzo, hallelujah, Bigurotav, hallelujah, Kerofulo. There we go. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, betake our shofar, hallelujah, benevel bechinor, hallelujah, betofu macho, hallelujah, beminim neulav. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, Betzil Tzalei Shema. Hallelujah, Betzil Tzalei Trua. Kol Hanshama Tehaleluya. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah again. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
We now turn to the core of our service on page 224. Please rise as you are able.
Yikadal v'yikadash meraba.
Amen.
V'yalemad yivrachirote v'yamelich b'chute. B'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayed chol Beit Yisrael. B'agala, b'agala, u'vizman kariv yimeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, v'yolam le'al me'amaya. Iparach fishabach v'ipar v'troman v'itnase v'itadar v'itale v'itala shemere kudesha Rechu li'ela mikol barchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiron v'yalma v'imiru. Amen.
We remain standing as Louise takes over leading the service, page 226. We begin with the Baruch Hu.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Ya, lie, 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 lie. Ya, la, 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach We continue in the middle of page 228. Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy, you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness, you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you form them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised to Adonai our God for the excellence of your hands, and for the lights you created, may they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMevorot. For Ahava Rabbah, which is on page 230, I'm going to offer a passage that is not in your prayer book. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you've spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully, we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we will turn to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir in our hearts. Help us live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We are now on page 234. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levavecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha v'vetecha uvletecha v'derech uv'shulpecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitotai v'tem kedoshim l'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lechem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 236. We read a passage from the book of Numbers, chapter 15, which speaks of the fringes on the corners of these prayer shawls. And Louise, I know that you have a very special talit that was given to you by Eric and Emily, your godparents, so that you could be wrapped up in their love and in the love of family, even as you are wrapped up in the mitzvot and the commandments, which you're going to talk about later this morning. And so we join together in reading about why we have these on page 236.
Adonai said to Moses as follows, Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That should be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Adonai and observe them so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. We continue at the top of page 239. Emet. There's no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet. The pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all of Israel, we sing out and rejoice. Page 240.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehtar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei felech, Nora tehilot osei felech. Try that again. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehtar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei felech, Nora tehilot osei felech. שיר החדשה, שיר חוגגים, לשמחה שפתיון, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. לה לה לה. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la.
Sur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael.
Please rise as you are able.
Uvtechinu mecha Yehuda v'Yisrael. Ko'aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai gal Yisrael.
We're on page 242.
Adonai sifatayv tifta ufia gitechilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu b'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Nehanora El Yom Gomel Hasodim Tovim B'Hanecha Kol V'Zocheres Deyavot V'Imachot U'V'Imi Ulav Livni V'Nechem L'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Otzer U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Zarat Sarah. We continue on page 240. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mehayeh hachol tarav le'oshia, mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, mechakel chayim v'chesed, mehayeh hakol berachamim ramim, somech noflim berofet olim, umatir asurim, Umechayem emunatov lishenei afar michamocha ba'al gevurot umido melach melech mimit umechayem umatzmiach Yeshua ne'emanata lecha chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol.
Page 248.
מקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וכרזל זה יאמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך
חי ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
To all generations, we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated. We continue on page 250. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Mekadesh, Mekadesh avi Shabbat. Kulam yisbeu v'yitangu muduvecha Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratita bo v'kidash to Shabbat. Chemdad yamim otogorata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Zecher l'masei shavit shit Shabbat. Zecher l'masei v'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. We continue at the top of page 253. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unifies us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to page 255.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu me'ocha Yisrael, u'tefilatam b'ahava tekabel, u'tehilah l'ratzon tamid v'adat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levadecha b'yira navo.
Amen. On page 257, we offer a prayer of gratitude for many of the things that we don't even think about that we have in our lives. Louise is going to read the first paragraph. We're going to respond with the second paragraph and continue back and forth like that. But the other thing that we're going to do is all join in on the refrain, Modim anachnu lach. Try those Hebrew words. Modim anachnu lach. That means we gratefully acknowledge you, God. for all of these blessings.
For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations.
Modim anachnu lach, for this fragile planet Earth, its tides and tides, its sunsets and seasons, modim anachnu lach.
For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements.
Modim anachnu lach, for human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, modim anachnu lach.
For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared.
Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, modim anachnu lach.
For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears but by our hopes, not by our words but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. We continue with a prayer for peace, page 258.
Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Chain v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu b'ral kol Yisrael omecha. Barcheinu notreinu kulanu ki echad be'or panecha. Sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Kiva or panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu. Torat chaim v'rafat chesed u'tzedaka uvracha v'rachamim v'chaim yishalom v'shalom. Sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. V'tov benecha levaret amacha Yisrael. Bechol ed uvechol shah bishlomecha. Sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Baruch atah Adonai b'mireish at amacha Yisrael b'yashalom.
We pause now for a moment to offer the prayers of our hearts.
Page 260 at the bottom. Ose shalom bimromav,
Huya ase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, Huya ase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, that was inadequate.
I mean, I'm very nice. Most people think I'm nice. I majored in niceness at a large Midwestern university. And if I say Shabbat Shalom, Sabbath peace to you, I would like you to say it back to me. And if you don't want to say it to me, say it to her. Say, Shabbat Shalom. So much better. We're in the middle of the service, the Torah service. We're about to take out the scroll of the law that Louise is going to read from. We're going to read several passages before she gets to her reading herself. And there are several prayers that we do in order to read from the Torah. If you look in your book on page 244, it's 362 in the brackets, we'll ask you, first of all, where's Margaret and Ben? Ben! Margaret! I need Margaret to come up here and help open the Torah, open the Ark. And as they're coming up, we're going to ask people to rise as they are able. Come on up. Follow Rabbi Gorbin's instructions. Okay.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kemasecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Ahava rachamim, heitiv avirzon ha'et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, kirvecha levad batachnu, melech el ram v'nisa, adon olamim.
This is our Torah. This is our heritage. By this heritage our ancestors lived, and for the sake of it they often had to die. But always this treasure, this heritage was passed on to a new generation of young and eager hands to have and hold, to learn, to make their very own. Today when we celebrate the bat mitzvah of a spectacular young woman like Louise, we're so happy at the thought of, yes, you, I'm talking about you, this Torah being passed on to this pair of wonderful, enthusiastic, engaged, and learning hands. So we'll take the Torah from which she will read today, and we'll pass it yet once again from generation to generation, from her parents to her. Take it. Go. Got it? Right here. We're going to put it right here on this shoulder. Okay. Here. Grab it. There you go. Right into your neck. And if you turn the page of your book, at the very top of the page is a phrase called Ki Mitzion. After those two lines, we'll be turning to the following page on the right-hand side to continue the Torah prayers.
364 and 366.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah,
Ki
mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amo Yisrael v'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo Gadlu Adonai Iti U'neromima Shemo Yachtav Lecha Adonai Agedu בשמיים
Shabbat shalom.
ובארץ,
Shabbat shalom.
כי
Shabbat
כל
shalom.
בשמיים
guys.
ובארץ, לך
Shabbat
אדוני המלך, ועמית נעשה לכל ראש. Feel free to join me this time. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד כי כל בשמיים ובארץ כי כל בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני המלך ועמית נעשה לכל ראש. The top of the next page. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. Can you help him? Wait, that's what I wanted.
Please have a seat, everyone. The portion that we're doing is called Shmini. For those who are not accustomed to how we Jews read from our 5 books of Moses, we read a portion every week, from the fall to the following fall, finishing with Deuteronomy and starting Genesis all over again. So we're actually in the 3rd book. We're in the 11th chapter of the 3rd book, which is called Leviticus. And it's about priestly matters and, in some cases, ordinary living. Because how many of you, I don't know, when you think of Jews and how they live, how many of you think of food? So this is the portion on Jewish food. Now, in the pew racks all over the room are books that look like this. They're a larger blue book. It says the Torah on the spine. And we're going to find exactly where we are on page 814, chapter 11, verse 1.
Right at the top of the page.
At the top of the page is where we're going to be. And we're going to learn that, frankly, Jews not only not eat pork, we don't eat shrimp. We don't eat any of the good stuff that comes out of the sea. We eat the fish with fins and scales. We're going to read all about that and find out just what Jewish food is. Now, many people are going to be called for the honor of doing the blessings before and after the Torah. We'd like you to come up if your name is called up this staircase here. If you forget your prayer book, we have blessings, nice big print right here for everyone. And so for the first aliyah, I get to call Yamdu l'aliyah rishona Yitzchak ben Pinchas, Chana bat Yitzchak, Velva Moshe ben Pinchas, Ian, Grace, and Bill. Ian, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so take the edge of your talit. I have it here.
Right here.
Okay, come on up. Touch with your tzitzit.
Right here.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, come close. Come close. There we go.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'charbanu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torah. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe ve'el Aharon le'emor alehem daberu el bnei Yisrael le'emor zot hachaya asher tochelu mikol habehema asher al haaretz kol mafreset parsa v'shosat Shesa perasot ma'alat gera babahema atatochelu. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying to them, "Speak to the Israelite people thus. These are the creatures that you may eat from among all the land animals, and any animal that has true hoofs, with clefts through the hoof, and all that chews the cud, such you may eat."
Here you go, guys.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah tamed, v'chayei olam natan v'tamchenu. Baruch atah Adonai noteinu Torah.
Amen. Come on the other side and stay for the next aliyah. Okay?
You're going to come
Yamdu l'aliyah shniya, Telsela bat Meir Shimon veHendel. Will Sally come up with Jay? Just come on close.
Yeah.
I have my cheat sheet.
Okay, well, I got it right there too.
Okay.
Whatever's going to work for you.
Okay, thank you.
Are you ready?
Beraku et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai and Barach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach la'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar benu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notain ha'torah.
Beautiful. Just hold the Torah right here. Okay. So we get our list of acceptable animals here in just a second. Okay. Ach, et ze lo tochlu mi ma'alei hagera. Behold, these are the animals that you shall not eat among those that in fact chew a cud, mafrisei hafarsa, or have a split hoof. Et the gamal, you can't eat the camel. Kimal agera, it does in fact have a chew a cud, who ufarsa enenu mafris. It does not have a split hoof. Tamehu lachem, it is impure or forbidden for you. But a shafan, the shafan is a daemon. Now you're supposed to look at me blankly and say, "Yeah, Rabbi, what's a daemon?" There is an actual desert mouse called a hyrax, and that's really what it is. So the shafan kima aleh gerahu, where it does in fact take up the cud, farsa lo yafris. It does not have a split hoof. Tamehu lachem, it is forbidden as impure for you. But arnevet, and you can't eat the bunny. No bunnies, I'm sorry. No Hassan Pfeffer, nothing like that, okay? Ki malagerahi ufarsa lohi frisa tmea hi lachem, because it may in fact chew a cud, but it does. And by the way, it doesn't even chew a cud; it just chews a lot, right? But it does not have a split hoof, and therefore it is considered impure or off limits to you. But the chazir and the little piggy, you can't eat any pork. Ki mafris parsahu, where it does indeed have a split hoof, ushashasa, and does have a true split hoof, parsa, v'hu gera lo yigar, but it does not take up the cud, tamehu lachem. It is forbidden for you, it is impure. Mivrasam lo tochelu, you shall not eat of its meat. Univlatam lo tiga, you shall not even touch their carcass. Tameim hem lachem. Those are what are forbidden for you. Okay? Come on.
Thank you.
No, you're blessing afterwards.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's this one here. Baruch atah.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, you got your sheet too.
Yep.
We'll work with you.
Yep. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'heinu alam
V'chayei olam.
Haolam alam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai notain ha-Torah.
Excellent. Yishkoch. Go say hello to these wonderful people over here, and then they'll say hello to Louise. Yamdul Aliyah Shishit Yitzchak Shuma ben Meir Shloima Leah Nechama bat Razel Moshe Razel ben Isaac Shuma. Will Jeffrey, Linda, and Max all come to the Torah? Yes, you stay for the next. Come on back over here. You have to extend the Aliyah. Oh, see, you weren't listening. I told you to come up. Actually, I told you to come up the other staircase, but it doesn't matter. Your hair's down.
It is.
It's beautiful. Okay, take your talit.
Get it.
Okay, and you can touch right here. For the blessings right here. Just like your bar mitzvah.
I know.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, gosh. I don't. Ready? Baruch Adonai Barach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bochar b'nei mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten ha'torah.
Come here. Hold the Torah. Okay, just like you did. Okay, we just finished all the mammals. Okay, and we're going to go on to the fishies of the sea. This is what you may be able to eat from all the waters. Anything that has fins in the scales. So all the good stuff, off limits, all right? That is in the water, whether in the seas or in the streams, these you shall be able to eat. Anything that does not have fins and scales, anything in the waters or in the streams, that all that swarms in the water, of all the living things, that are in the water, sheketz, it is an abomination, hem lachem, for you. V'sheketz yihiyu lechem mivsaram, and you shall also abominate or set aside and not touch anything of their flesh. Lo tochel, that you shall not eat. That nivlatam, and even their carcasses, tishakatsehu, you shall abominate. Kol asher eno snapir v'kaskeset b'mayim, anything that does not have fins and scales that is in the water, sheketz hu lachem. It is indeed an abomination for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Blessings. Blessing at the bottom. There you go.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'torah meinu. Baruch Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Go say hello to these wonderful people. You get a hug. Rabbi Gorbin's going to take over the Torah reading. While she's coming up to the Torah, what's off limits? Shrimp, clams, lobster, crawfish, all that stuff we leave for the non-Jewish world, just so you know. And the bacon.
Catfish.
And catfish and the bacon. We'll talk about sturgeon later on, okay? So,
Swordfish is the questionable one because it sometimes has scales and sometimes doesn't.
right. Yamdul Aliyah Revi'i, Prevachava Bad Rivka, Noah Rivka Bad Prevachava. Well, Jackie, Chris, Noah, and Ben, all please come to the Torah. Okay, both of you with the talitot. She'll show you exactly where she is. Take your tzitzit. Here. Get your money.
Don't step on it.
Okay, guys, here you go.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Ve'ela tishaktsu min ha'of. And these you shall abominate from among the flying things, also known as birds. Lo yechlu shekethem. You should not eat them, or they should not be eaten because they are an abomination. Et ha-nesher, the eagle, ve'et ha-peres, and some other sort of bird of prey. Which one is that?
The vulture.
The vulture. Ve'et ha-oznia, which is another type of vulture. Ve'et ha-da'a, which is the kite. Ve'et ha-aya, the falcons of limina, every kind of falcon. Et kol orev, and limino, and every sort of raven. Ve'et bat haya'ana, and the ostrich. Ve'et hatachmas, and the nighthawk, because these are the birds we encounter all the time. Ve'et hashachaf, and the seagull, ve'et ha-netz, and the hawk, leminehu, and every type of hawk, ve'et hakos, and the owl, ve'et ha-shalach, which is a cormorant, ve'et ha-yanshuf, which is another type of owl, ve'et ha-tinchemet, which is a great white owl, ve'et ha-ka'at, and the pelican, ve'et ha-racham, and the buzzard, ve'et ha-chasida, and the stork, ha-anafa lemina, the herons of every type, ve'et ha-duchifat, and the hoopoe, which is actually an amazing-looking bird that is very common in Israel even today, ve'et ha-atalef, and the bat, kol...
which is not really a bird. Right?
Which is not really a bird, but they didn't know that it was really just a flying mouse. It's not really a flying mouse, but it's beside the point. Yes, that is it.
Okay. Let's sing afterwards.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah lemed, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. One of the things that I really wanted to do but didn't quite have the time to put together was a visual representation of all of these different animals, because I don't know about you, but the translation of Damon as Hyrax did not actually help me any.
Oh, okay. Well, there will be a test later. I hope you were taking notes. Yamdu l'aliyah hachamishit Yisrael ben Pinchas Shoshana bar Avram v'Sara Devorah bat Yisrael 5 will David ben Yisrael will Eric, Emily, Hannah, Philip, and Sydney all come up to the Torah together with. There you go. Okay, take your talit. Touch exactly where she is. There.
Right there, last one.
There. There. And there. Okay, guys, here's your bracha here. 1, 2.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Kol sheretz ha'of ha'holecha ala arba sheketz hu lachem. Any flying thing that also swarms and also walks on 4 legs is an abomination for you. Ach et ze tochlu mikol sheretz ha'of ha'holecha ala arba. And these of all the winged swarming things that walk on 4s you can eat. Asher lo kra'aim mima laraglav lenater bahem al haaretz. You can eat anything that has joints above the foot, so that they can hop upon the earth or leap upon the earth. Again, science not exactly their forte, or at least the way we understand science and taxonomy and such. But these are the things that you can eat. Ela mihen tochlu. These are the things you may eat of these 4-legged things that jump with joints. Ha'arbeh lemino, the locust of every variety, ve'et ha'solam, and another type of locust leminehu, according to its kind, ve'et ha'chargol leminehu, and the cricket of every kind, ve'et ha'chogav, and the grasshopper leminehu, of its kind, v'chol sheretz ha'of asher lo arba raglaim sheketz hu lachem, but any other kind of winged swarming thing that has 4 legs is an abomination for you.
But we get to eat the grasshoppers.
And the crickets,
And the crickets, the chocolate-covered ones?
if you want.
Okay.
And now we're all ready for the reception.
Baruch.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yishkoach. Hey, Yishkoach. Thank you. Yamdu Aliyah Shishit, Nehemiah ben Meir Shimon Behendel. Will John come up with Kendra, Amelia, and Charlotte? Come up this staircase here. And Louise to read. Louise, come on. This is your time. Okay, let's make sure that Louise knows exactly what she's reading. Yeah. Here we go. There you are. So if you are following in the larger blue book, we're going to be moving ahead to the next verse in chapter 11, which is on page 821. Okay, here you are. Can you show me where you're starting?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. There you go.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bochar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. You're next, so you're going to hold the Torah for her, okay?
I start? Okay. Ol eila titama'u kol hanogea beniv latam yitma ad ha'arev v'chol hanose et niv latam yechabes bigadav v'tamei ad ha'arev l'chol habehema asher hi mafresed parsa v'shisa Einena shosad, v'gera einena ma'ala, timeim hem lachem kol hanogea, bachem yitma, v'chol halech al kapav, v'chol hachayach, hachalechet al arba, timeim hem lachem kol hanogea, beneath latam yitma ad ha'arev v'hanaseh et niv latam yechabes bigadav v'tamei ad ha'arev timeim hema lachem.
And the following shall make you unclean if you're in contact with them. Whoever touches their carcasses shall be unclean till evening. And whoever carries the carcasses of any of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. Every animal that has true hooves but without the clefts through the hoofs or doesn't chew the cud, they are unclean for you. Whoever touches their carcasses shall be unclean. Also all animals that walk on paws, all among those that walk on fours are unclean for you. Whoever touches their carcasses shall be unclean till evening, and anyone who carries their carcasses shall wash his clothes and remain unclean until evening. They are unclean for you. Okay? So, got your nice and loud.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Kiss your parents, they're nice people. Or hug them or something. And all the people to the left of you as well, because they're nice people too. And your sister. There we go.
Wait, not me, her.
Okay. Okay. Louise, say hello to them. Sydney. There we go. We are just one big hug fest up here, in case you didn't know.
She's great.
Okay, John, Kendra, you're going to come back over here.
That's okay. They're not getting lost. You're going to go over there.
This is the moment that Louise actually ascends to her status as adult, because she's going to be called for the very first time in her own right, in her own standing, to do the blessings for Torah, not just to read or lead prayers. So we have a special call for her. We say, Tamod, 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 Levarechet HaKriya, Liebe Bat Nechemia V'Kendra, Bat Mitzvah. That's you.
Baruch Adonai Cham Barach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Cham Barach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. Your turn. Come here. Come here. Give me your hand. Hold. Put your thumb around.
You just have to hold it.
There you go. Perfect.
Shizeh lachem hatameh b'sheret hashoret al haaretz hacholed ve'achbar ve'atzav leminechu ve'ha'anaka ve'hakoach ve'chalta'a ve'chachomet ve'hantin shamet eile ha'me'im lachem b'chol hasharetz kol hanogeya bahem B'motam mitma at ha'arev B'chol asher yipol.
Allah.
Did you finish your spot?
Yes.
Oh, okay. She just lost her spot. That's okay. Right there.
Oh, B'chol asher yipol alav mehem b'motam yitma mikol keli etz o veged o or o sak kol keli asher yaseh malacha bahem b'mayim yuva v'tamei ad ha'arev v'taher B'chol keli cheres asher yipol mehem el tocho Kol asher betocho yitma
Otov.
Ve'otov tishbaru.
That's it. The following shall be unclean from you among all the things that swarm on the earth: the mole, the mouse, the great lizards, the gecko, the land crocodile, the lizard, the sand lizard, and the chameleon. These are for you unclean among all the swarming things. Whoever touches them when they are dead shall remain unclean until evening. And anything upon which some of them falls when dead shall also be unclean, be it any article of wood or cloth or skin or a sack. Any such article that can be put to use shall be dipped in water, shall remain unclean until evening, and then it shall be clean. And if any of those fall into an earthen vessel, everything inside it shall be unclean, and the vessel itself you shall break, because that can't be cleaned. Okay, by the way, really tough Torah portion, because these words to describe animals and things are not common, and you did them beautifully. But here's your Baruch right here.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen. Kiss your parents again. They're still very nice people. And your sisters. And your sisters. There you go.
Good job. Thank you.
Okay? There.
Thank you.
So having finished the Torah, there are blessings we do while the Torah is out and open. It's as though our hearts are uniquely open for all kinds of our highest thoughts and wishes and hopes and prayers. So I'm going to ask Carol Coyle to come up for the first, which is the blessing for the state of Israel. Where's Carol? Come on up. Here, come with this thing. It's fine. A nice big print right here. You do the English here and the English there.
I printed it out. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, just print this first.
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper.
Beautiful.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. Go say hello to Louise, okay? And for the blessing for our country, we have Kara, Mora, and Nora. This is on page 376 in the brackets in your prayer book. Right here, O guardian. Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm this.
Do you want to do that too? Great.
Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
Hey.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here. Say thank you.
Thank you very, very much. We continue with a blessing for those who are not well. It's called a Mishaberach prayer. And this prayer can be found on page 371 in your prayer book in the middle of the page. It's our custom, as we did last night, to ask you to say out loud the names of anybody for whom you are wishing healing of body, mind, and spirit on this Shabbat. So when I look at your part of the congregation, please feel free to say a name out loud or quietly so that we can add that name to our collective heart. You don't raise your hand, class is over for the week, right? There we go. Are there names of those for whom you wish healing? Leah Bat Chana.
Chava Batili and Joe Jarmel.
Page
371. Misheberach avotenu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Feel free to join. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We continue with the ritual of lifting the Torah on high for all to see, and we're going to call Yamdul, Magbia Hagolel, Richard Landis, Aaron Landis. So which is which? You've never done this before? Well, then you're gonna actually kind of help us who are already gonna do it, okay? So it's customary, as you are able to please rise as the Torah is lifted. Take these things.
You know what? You take this, because you're going to tie it up. You're going to go back to front first, so it's like a double tie.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe.
Torah, 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 tziva lanu
Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe.
Torah tziva lanu Moshe, come on. Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, tziva lanu Moshe.
Louise, come on for Haftarah. Please be seated, everyone. The Haftarah is a special Haftarah for Shabbat Parah, one of the 5 special Shabbatot in the spring leading up to Passover. It can be found on 1651. I highly recommend this because this, unlike the Torah, will not be translated. So if you have a larger, thicker blue book in your pew rack, please go all the way from right to left to find 1651. Now, Kendra, how are we doing candy here? Are they distributing?
I think I'd like to have Amelia and Charlotte and Sydney pass out the candy.
How many of you, this is your first bar mitzvah, or you haven't been for a long time? Okay, so we're going to hand out candy. It's not intermission.
You can't eat it.
So you're going to hold on to the candy until she finishes the last Hebrew prayer she's going to do, which is the blessing after the prophetic reading. And then you're going to gently toss it in her direction. We're not putting out her eye. No. I know you do baseball, but we're not doing that. And then anybody who's young or really young at heart is encouraged, and Noah, you're still encouraged, to come up and get candy if you want. If you are going to eat candy after this ritual, just if you do me a big favor and put the wrapper in your pocket, or if you're sitting next to someone who has a pocket, give it to them and we'll stuff their pockets. And please don't rustle them during the candy, during the Haftarah, which we can continue with the next blessing before the reading. Go on.
Okay. Should I start now? Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar b'neviim tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nevi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Lachen amor levet Yisrael ko amar Adonai Elohim lo lamanchem ani oseh beit Yisrael ki im l'shem kodshi asher chilotem bagoyim asher batam sham v'kidashti et shmi hagadol hamchulal bagoyim
אשר חיללתם בתוכם וידעו הגויים כי אני אדוני נאום אדוני אלוהים בהתקדשי בכם לעיניכם. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam tzor kol ha'olamim tzaddik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber umkayeh shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al havodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shinatan lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'livdecha lichavod uliktifaret.
You're way too enthusiastic.
Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach uvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo
Mechadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Kids, come up and get the candy.
Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Yehelanu. Ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu. Ulecho Yisrael.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulecho Yisrael. There's lots more. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Hi la la ya la la, la 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 la, la la ya la la.
So, please put away that larger blue book and find your prayer book again. Who do we need? We need Allison and Sydney. Allison and Sydney, where are you?
Yes. Okay.
Allison and Sydney are going to help with the opening of the ark again. And as we turn in our books to page 256, which is 374 in the brackets, please rise as you are able.
Hallelujah, Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado.
Hodo al haaretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren le'amo, tehila lechol chasidav, livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. For a good heritage has been given to you. Do not forsake it.
Eitz chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tom che'am meushar derachea darchei noam b'chol netivotea shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Thanks a lot, guys. did you say hello to Louise? You say hello to Louise. Okay, where's your Devar Torah? Where? I don't think it's here. So we ask of our students to demonstrate excellence in 3 areas. One is the leading of services, and I heard her all the way down the hall. She was beautiful in leading both the Hebrew and the English. The second is to show mastery in our basic text, the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and the Haftarah, which today was Ezekiel. But third, and just as important, is to teach us something from it, not only by learning what our tradition says, but adding her own wisdom. And so, Louise, we are waiting for you to share your wisdom of Torah, and I can't tell you how excited I am to learn from you.
Okay, so raise your hand if you ever went to school.
Go.
So most of you can relate to this Devar Torah. Shabbat Shalom.
Wait, say it again. Come on.
Shabbat Shalom.
See, they can be taught. It's good.
So most of you can relate to this. Why do we have to do homework? I mean, you're supposed to be able to relax at home, not work like you have to do at school. But teachers decided that they should mess with the balance of nature and give us homework, right? Wrong. Even though we despise homework, there's a reason for it. It allows us to practice the things we learn to get better at them. Getting that A or B in class doesn't come from luck. It comes from listening to your parents and teachers when they tell you to do homework. Ultimately, the result of homework is rewarding. It may seem pointless at the time, but the outcome is greater than the pain of doing it. Much like our teachers make us do homework for our benefit, we may not understand some of God's rules, but they are always there to help, support, and guide us. In my Torah portion, Shmini, which is in Leviticus, God gives us the kosher dietary laws, or what is fit to eat and what is forbidden to eat. For example, animals that chew their cud and have split hooves are allowed for consumption, as are fish with scales and fins. So you could eat cows, deer, sheep, and most fish, but you wouldn't be allowed to eat pigs, turtle, or shellfish. My Torah portion also says that contact with impure animals makes one impure and makes vessels, containers, and clothing impure. For example, the mole, the mouse, great lizards of every variety, and so many more animals are impure. Then it explains how to rid of impurity if contact with an impure animal occurs. All in all, these kosher laws are difficult to understand. The Torah doesn't explain anywhere why we have them. We're given lots and lots of rules and instructions about what to eat and what not to eat, but we don't get any reasoning for it. Some people think that the kosher laws were written to promote cleanliness, but we don't know if that's true. We're just supposed to follow them. We may never understand these laws, but God would never lead us wrong, so some of us follow them. That being said, whether you follow them or not, we must keep them in mind and understand the importance of all of God's 613 commandments. In addition to the laws of kashrut, we are encouraged to remember those who were killed because they were Jewish. I chose to participate in Remembering the Children project to honor the memory of a child that never had a chance to become a bat mitzvah. It was difficult to pick the child I was going to remember. Every child who died in the Holocaust deserves to be honored. For my bat mitzvah, I am remembering Louise Glio, a child murdered at age 10. She was born in Metz, France in 1933. She stayed in France during the war. She was deported to the Auschwitz-Birkenau extermination camp in Poland on July 31st, 1944. I chose Louise Glio because we both have glasses and share the same first name. Learning about Louise Glio impacted how I think about my Jewish identity. After researching, I now believe that being a Jew means to be strong, faithful, and determined. As Jews, we have a responsibility to make the world a better place through Tikkun Olam, which translates to repairing the world. We must acknowledge the fates of these victims so nothing like this will ever happen again. As I become a Jewish adult, sharing this coming-of-age celebration with a Holocaust victim makes me realize the responsibility of Jews all over the world to keep the souls of the victims alive and remembered and to prevent history from repeating itself. I'm also trying to repair the world by helping my community. My Tikkun Olam project is collecting hygiene products for my local food pantry, I believe that everyone has a right to feel and look healthy and clean. By helping my community, I feel a strong connection, and neighbors feel more like family. If we all help each other out, the world would be a much better place. My community is in need of diapers, baby wipes, deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, feminine hygiene products, etc. Thank you to everyone who donated for helping my community grow to be a strong family. I would like to thank my very patient tutor, Adele Suffren. Where is she? Thank you, Adele. She was determined for me to succeed. Thank you to Amelia and Charlotte, my little sisters. They're really annoying, but they make me happy, so thanks. Thank you to out-of-town guests who traveled to see me become bat mitzvah. Thank you to Rabbi Gorbin, Rabbi Gibson, and Cantor Berman. They taught me what it means to practice Judaism and become a Jewish adult. Last but not least, I would like to thank my parents for raising me in a Jewish home and helping me throughout my life. I'm forever in your debt. Thank you to everyone in the congregation who's here to witness me become a Jewish adult. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay, face me. I get to be the very first one to say mazel, mazel, mazel tov. Remember? Shaking hands, remember? I said squeeze the hand. Smile. There you go. There you go. Of course, there's nothing more required of you today except to actually accept gifts and greetings and hugs and kisses and all the love. Look at their faces. They're so happy for you. They're delighted. So I was taken by this Torah portion. There are two major things. One happens bad that Rabbi Gorbin talked about last night, where there's an accidental death doing sacrifice. But then there's this whole thing about what we're allowed to eat and what we're not allowed to eat. And believe it or not, Jews have disagreements as well about what we're allowed to eat and under what conditions we're allowed to eat it. Because just because you're allowed to eat certain animals doesn't mean you can go out and shoot them, right? So we're basically allowed to eat that which has a split hoof and chews a cud. That's basically cows, lambs, goat, and deer. But even though you're allowed to eat them, you have to kill them a certain way. You actually have to drop a blade across the neck, what's called the carotid artery, so that there's no more blood flow and it's instantaneous and the animal can't feel pain. That's a huge deal in Judaism. The animal can't feel pain. You can't stun the animal, shoot the animal. If it's roadkill, you can't eat it, right? Or touch it. And if a bullet hits it or an arrow hits it, it is not allowed to be used or, more importantly, eaten. The laws about how to kill an animal humanely with the least amount of pain are very extensive and detailed in Jewish practice in our Jewish law codes. And once a long time ago, back in the old country, there was a guy who was actually top of his class. To be the ritual slaughter is called a shochet. Can you say shochet?
Shochet.
Absolutely correct. He was top at his class at shochet school. He had the right intention, the right prayers. He really felt it in his heart when he was going to take the life of an animal, even though he knew it was going to sustain God's people, right? Mm-hmm. So, not surprisingly, because he was first in shochet class, he got a job right away at a very prestigious town that was known to honor their shochet and pay him well. So the very first day, he gets a good night's sleep, and then the first thing, crack of dawn, he goes and gets ready to slaughter the first animal, which is a cow. And he takes his blade, which is literally this long, and he sharpens it again on a stone, and he shines it on a leather strap called a strop, and he literally splits a hair. That's how sharp it is. And then he takes some of the saliva from his mouth to slick the blade so there's virtually 0 point of friction that the animal's going to feel. And as he's doing this, slicking the blade, he hears behind him the following sound. Disapproving, right? He turns around, there's a guy back there saying, "That's not the way the old shochet used to do it." So he wonders, maybe I got the technique wrong. So he takes his blade and he sharpens on the stone again, he smooths it on the strop, he splits a hair, and then he slicks it with his mouth, with his saliva, just, it's not disgusting, it's the idea that there's little friction, right? And he says the blessing for the shochet to kill the animal, and he hears behind, "That's not the way the old shochet used to do it." And he goes, "What?" And he does it one more time with the ritual. He sharpens on the stone, he smooths it on the strop, he splits the hair, he slicks the blade, and he goes like this. And the guy says, "That's not the way the old shochet used to do it." He said, "Well, tell me, how did the old shochet used to do it?" And the guy says, the old man says, well, he did it kind of like you. He would sharpen on the stone, and he would smooth it on the strop, and he would split the hair. But when he slicked the blade, he would slick it with his tears because of how he felt about taking the life of one of God's creatures. And the shochet understood in that moment that he knew the technique and had the intent for himself, but not toward the animal whose life he was going to take. The old shochet was called the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism, who was known for his tremendous empathy for everything in God's world, people, creatures, plants, flowers, you name it. And what we want for you is something we know that you already have, that deep empathy, that deep caring about the suffering of others, which you've addressed in your Tikkun Olam project. Sometimes we take the life of an animal so that we can eat the meat if you're not vegan or vegetarian. But we have to know that that meat is not simply appear in the market on a slab of plastic, that it came from an animal that was living and breathing as one of God's creatures too. Louise, you have one of the gentlest hearts of any student I've ever taught. You understand that around you, you're surrounded by God's creatures, each of whom has joy and pain. And your heart and love go out to all of them. That is such a blessing. We hope that that blessing grows in you over the years so that you're blessed throughout all of your days, even as you're going to be blessed by Rabbi Gorbin, Kata Bourbon, and me at this moment. Give me this hand, this one. Give the other one to Rabbi Gorbin. There we go. And look up.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha.
Shalom, shalom,
shalom, shalom, shalom.
May God lift up God's presence to you and grant you wholeness, fulfillment, joy, love, and empathy, but most of all, God's blessing of peace. As together we all say,
Amen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all, who has caused us to live, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this very, very happy time. The next thing, after listening to me, you have to listen to your parents. So go, turn and face them, hand your dad the microphone. There you go. Excuse me a second.
Here you go.
Just hold on.
Is this thing on? All right. Louise. 13 years ago, to the day. Today's her birthday. Everybody wish her a happy birthday. You changed our lives forever. How we kvelled over every little thing you did. Your first smile, your first rollover, your first step, your first word, dada. As you got a little older, you made it clear that you did not appreciate our over-the-top praise, and we had to rein in our enthusiasm for your brilliant accomplishments. If we forgot, our outburst of love could often startle you and even make you cry. A simple "good job" was enough, and you've been that way since. We still try hard to keep it real with you and not pump up the volume too much. So this is keeping it simple and real. It's not quelling if it's true, right? You're doing an incredible job today. I knew you would. Seeing all of your hard work, practice, frustration and rebound, study, seeing it all come to this moment. Louise, it's okay to be proud. As humble as you are, you've earned the right to enjoy this moment and this accomplishment. And you get to keep everything you learned along the way. You now know what it feels like to set a goal, to take on a huge responsibility and complete it with excellence and grace. This is but the first of many achievements, and I know you're going to do more amazing things. Good job.
Thank you.
From before your first taught Shabbat, we've watched you embrace your Jewishness with enthusiasm, curiosity, love, and an open heart. As a young woman, as you journey further in this world, as you think about who you were, who you are, and who you're going to become, Judaism will be a touchstone and provide comfort and inspiration. It is your legacy and a guiding light. And as always, remember your mom, Kendra, is the super glue in this family, in this interfaith family, and her support and love are why we're here today. Thank you. Louise, thank you for all the gifts you give. Thank you for all the gifts you give us, helping us see the beauty in the smallest things, your unwavering sense of fairness, fierce loyalty, effortless empathy, and an easy sense of humor. Being the best big sister in the world to Amelia and Charlotte. Teaching me Common Core math. No, I won't go there. I could go on, but I won't. That would be quelling. Well, maybe just a little bit more. We're so blessed to have you as a daughter, as a sister, as a cousin, as a niece, as a friend. We love you so much. Look around this sanctuary. You have touched the lives of everyone in here today, and you're loved in so many ways. Louise, may you learn from those that have come before you and from the examples of those that surround you. Never stop sharing what you've learned, and always keep it real. I love you.
Love you too.
Do I have to give this thing back?
Yes.
It's really wonderful that you're all here this morning to share this special service with us. I'm Philip Lehman. I'm president of Temple Sinai. Oh, this is on. I'm loud anyway.
I turned it off.
Now it's on. I'm Philip Lehman. I'm president of Temple Sinai, and I'm here to represent the board and the membership of our congregation. My greatest privilege in that role is to say Mazel Tov. You were so wonderful. You really have amazing presence. So when you're a little older and you want to help lead the congregation, you call me, okay? All right, so it was wonderful to watch you read and teach us all the things you taught us. We had a little discussion back there about crickets and things like that. I don't know what we're going to do with that. Today's service is partly to strengthen your own connection to Judaism, and to help you do that, we have a couple of things for you to take with you. There's a book from the congregation and a Kiddush cup from the Brotherhood and the Women of Temple Sinai. And we hope that you use them in the years to come and continue to grow and just to continue to teach us. So Mazel Tov.
Thank you, Philip.
So just a couple more things, and then we're going to get you down by your sisters, okay? So we have a certificate of completion for all the work that you've done today. It's signed. It says on the left side all the things that you did today on Parshat Shmini, which is Shabbat Parah. And it also says that today you've accepted the privileges and responsibilities of being a Jew. So what are those?
Lifelong Torah study in the keeping of Mitzvot, Shabbat, Holy Day, and life cycle observances, participation in the life of the synagogue, the Jewish community in Israel, dedication to Tikkun Olam, the perfection of our world.
And you signed it beautifully, and it's signed by your parents and me and Kenner Berman and Rabbi Gorbin and by Philip Lehman. So I want you to take this, not just as a reminder of this day, the left side, but as your commitment for the future on the right side. We have this special certificate from the Holocaust Center of Greater Pittsburgh, which tells the story that you shared of a Louise that was not so fortunate as you and whose legacy you are. And we also have scholarship certificates so that you can get to Israel. Israel, our second home. Israel, where I go once or twice a year. Israel, where Rabbi Gorbin's parents are from. So this is a $250 certificate as a scholarship if you go at the end of your 10th grade year with the Reform Movement. And this is $1,750 toward any trip that is more than 2 weeks. That's, I like to say, $2,000 toward the cost before you even have to sell a cookie, okay? So I want you to take these certificates, your gifts, and most of all, our tremendous mazel tov on what you did, and go sit on your sister's lap and just make her unhappy. Do that. Or sit next to her, whatever you want to do. And you got the candy. We got a whole more in the basket there. How many of you came from out of state? Raise your hand. Where'd you come from? Florida, the land of our people, we call that, right? And where, anybody else? Where? Oh, sure, that's wonderful. Someday you'll be a state. Never, right? Anybody else out of state? Anybody, where do you come from? Brooklyn? We call it the Holy City. The Holy City of Brooklyn. Yes? I can't hear you. Ohio, in Columbus, right? Or Columbus, Ohio, as people call it, right? I know that too. And, we have people who live in Ohio who cross a border every day to come here, 3 times a week, for goodness sake. We're so proud and delighted that you're willing to come and make your Jewish connection this way. Right after the service, which will end in about 5 minutes, we're going to have a small reception out there to my left, to our right, and hopefully we'll be able to, everybody, celebrate Louise and her accomplishment with the love that she engenders in all of us. If you look at your books on page 586 in the brackets, it's 282 not in the brackets, the lower half of the page. That is our concluding set of prayers for which we all rise, as you are able.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei kedula le'yotzer v'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo osam lanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo osam chelkeinu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחמים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Before we say Morning's Kaddish, everybody got their wrappers? You got your wrappers for the candy? That's wonderful. Thank you very, very much. Is there anybody here who's saying Kaddish for a loved one, observing a yahrzeit of the anniversary of a loved one, like I'm observing for my father-in-law, Ben Schulmeister? Anybody else saying Kaddish? So it's our custom that mourners need not stand alone, that they're accompanied, even if you're not saying Kaddish. We're going to ask the congregation to rise as you will, and on 598 is Kaddish, which I'll be saying for my father-in-law. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabah.
Amen.
V'yomad ivrach irateh v'yomlich malchuteh b'chayechona v'yomechona v'chayed chol beit Yisrael v'agalav izman kari v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabah v'orach le'olam olmei mayam. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromah v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata v'amiram b'yomah v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru.
Amen.
May the source of peace in the high heavens cause peace to descend on all of us, all Israel, upon our shattered world desperately in need of the healing we can give it, upon all of us who mourn our beloved dead, as together we say, Amen.
Amen.
I'm going to ask Louise to come up with your sisters, and every young person who's here, come up for our final song. It's called Ein Keloheinu. It's on 626. In the brackets, if you're here from another congregation, it's the one you know. So everybody stand up for our final song, and at the very end we'll have a brief benediction. No, over here, over here, over here. Over here. Ein Keloheinu. Right here. Louise?
Let's go. Ready?
Ein Eloheinu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkeinu, ein Kamoshienu, Mich Eloheinu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Kemalkeinu, Mich Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Baruchim atem b'voachem, baruchim atem b'tzeitchem, me'atav olam. May be blessed, all of you, every place you come into God's world. May be blessed every place you go out as well as together we all say, Amen. Therefore God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy. And you're just going to do Borei Pri Hagafen. Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Pri Hagafen.
Amen. Have a drink. Praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all, who creates the fruit of the vine. Ready to do this? Okay, here. We're going to take this.
What?
You take one side. Okay, you take the other. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom. Praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all, who creates the fruit of the vine, who brings forth bread from the earth, as together we say, Amen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom.